Snow had come early that year. Thick, heavy flakes blanketed the small town, muffling the sounds of life and sealing people inside their warm homes. It was the kind of winter that made the world feel smaller, quieter, lonelier. At the edge of town, nestled deep in the woods, stood an old house. It had been abandoned for decades, its windows shattered by time and weather. The locals whispered about it, calling it the Hollow House, a place where shadows moved without reason, and the wind carried voices that did not belong to the living. Elliot had never believed in the stories. A seasoned outdoorsman, he had spent his life in the wilderness, hunting, tracking, and surviving. So when the first snowstorm forced him to seek shelter in the Hollow House, he did so without hesitation. The alternative was freezing to death in the woods. The door groaned as he pushed it open, the air inside dry and stale. His flashlight beam cut through the darkness, revealing sagging furniture and walls etched with strange, looping symbols. He ignored them. Superstitions had no place in his mind. He set up his sleeping bag by the fireplace, lit a small fire, and settled in for the night. It wasn't long before the noises started. At first, he thought it was the wind, a faint scratching, a distant tapping. Then came the footsteps, light, deliberate, moving across the floorboards above him. Elliot sat up, heart hammering. The house was abandoned. He was sure of it. He grabbed his rifle and crept up the stairs, each step creaking beneath his weight. The second floor was empty, but the air felt charged, heavy. The footsteps had stopped, but something was wrong. A set of wet footprints led from the window to the doorway, each one perfectly shaped bare feet. He followed them back to the window. It was closed, latched. The snow outside was undisturbed. No one had come in. A whisper brushed past his ear. He spun around, rifle raised. The room was empty. His own breath came in short, sharp gasps, fogging in the cold air. A chill ran down his spine as he realized something else. His footprints were the only ones in the dust. Sleep did not come that night. He sat by the fire, listening, waiting. Occasionally, the footsteps would return, circling him, stopping just outside his vision. Shadows danced at the edge of the firelight, moving when they shouldn't have. He told himself it was a trick of the flames. As dawn approached, he dared to believe he had imagined it all. Then he saw the footprints again, this time, leading from his sleeping bag to the fireplace. A slow, deliberate path. They hadn't been there before. Elliot left as soon as the sun rose. He didn't care about the storm, about the cold. He just knew he had to leave. He never spoke of what happened. He never returned to that house. But the Hollow House remained, waiting. And when the snow fell thick and heavy, new footprints always appeared in the frost-covered rooms, leading from the windows to the fire, waiting for someone else to find shelter. Waiting for someone new to listen to the whispers in the dark.